Hello, this is Grandma's Gone Gaming. I am bringing you episode 2 of my little tutorial about structure blocks in 1.14. We have our little starter house over there in the jungle, and we learned how to do a single block, which turned into this nice little chest that has things in it about villages. And then over here we set up the ship that I had saved out of the ocean before, and rescued the extra sponge out of there and then resaved it, just to show you what things you could do with making your own creations. So in this episode 2, I'm going to do a couple things over here in the village to show you how you can use somebody else's creations. You shouldn't use anybody else's except your own, and ones that are made in the game, which are okay to duplicate and use elsewhere in your maps. But unless you have permission from somebody else. But I'm going to show you how this is just as simple. There are so many different village things that we have now for the new villages, and you can duplicate any part of them any way you like. You can use part of them, you can use all of them, you can add to them, you can take away from them, whatever you want to do. But I thought I would just give you the basics of how to set up something like this pen right here, for instance. One of the first things you need to know about this is that it's not an entire rectangle, but since we can only work in rectangles, and by the way, all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares, in case you didn't know that. A rectangle has two sets of parallel sides, and so does a square, so that makes it a rectangle. But a square has all sides equal, and a rectangle does not necessarily have that. Alright, so the corner where the rectangle for this pen would come to, if it were to meet this side, would be right here, and we need to go diagonal from that, so we will get the grass out of there. And I'm going to make a hole that's down 2 layers, because if I set it in this layer, then only the fence part would sit on top of it when you go to load it. But this little pond over here is 1 layer deep, so we need that to be down that low. And let's see, it doesn't really matter what we do first. Let's go ahead and do this a little differently than what I was doing the other one. Over here in this corner we have another rectangle that's missing out of here, and so the corner to finish that out would be right there. So we're going to put this here. Now we need to get higher than these two right here, so that is going to be the next layer up, because this is on that same layer. 1, 2, stand up here. I'm holding shift because it's that, like if I'd have put dirt in there, it wouldn't have made any difference. And we'll just go ahead and start at this corner here, and we need 1, 2, 3 to go into here to the corner slot, and we're going to type in, I have written this down so that I can just do it this way, village pen 01. Okay, and then I'm going to select all of that, and I'm going to copy it and say done, and then we'll fly over here and do this one here. Whoops, went too far. And we will go 1, 2, 3, and we'll put the name in this corner as well and say done. And then we will go ahead and go to the 1, 2 to the save. It has put village pen in here for us, and we don't have any invisible blocks. That would be like invisible barriers perhaps, or jigsaw blocks or anything like that that doesn't show, so we don't need to worry about that. And we have no entities in there. There are no horses or other animals in the pen, so we'll just say detect, and it does show us. Now you see you can't see a line up here on the surface because the line is actually down underneath there. So let's just make sure that we can actually see that right here. There we go. It shows that it is underneath that surface right there, so that the pond depth is correct. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put this back in, and then we'll go over here, and it is all the way out here, all the way around the border. So we'll go ahead and go to this one and do here to load. Wait a minute. We don't want to load, we want to save. I did that wrong. Go back to save. Come on. So now that we have that showing that it is correct, then we will hit the save button right there, and we have it over here in the chat panel showing that it is definitely saved. Alright, so now we will take these out in the holes, and we'll go over here and get back to our structure block, and we'll find a place to put this so that you can see that it did indeed save the entire thing. I think probably somewhere in here. Let's see if we can just start here and put it, we're going to have to put it down 2 layers. Let's go in one here. Oops, that's not what I meant to do, but that's okay. We'll fix that later. Because remember, we want the bottom of that structure to sit on top of this, and that would be where we want the water to be. Whoops, back up. And we will go to the load, and we'll type in, or in this case, paste in. We don't have any entities, and so we will say load the first time. And obviously that's not where I want it to go. So I'm going to back off from, whoops, I'm on the wrong keys. There we go. Back off from there, go over here, and we'll try, I think we're going to have to go 270 and say done. Nope, that's not what I want. Probably 180 and done. That's what we want right there. Now that shows that the line of the fence will be 1 space away from the road here, 1 space of the way away from the road here, and it actually doesn't even go over the top of that over there. That's pretty cool. And then we will go ahead and hit load again, and there we have it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that out of there and fill it in. Alright, and then when we get over here, see, now I think that I would probably, if I was going to do some terraforming in regards to this, do something like that, because you don't want things jumping in there. It would be bad enough to put animals in here at this point because they could get out of here. So before you would actually use this pen, you would want to do something like that and probably move your hay, add some of it back in there or whatever. A horse on here though can still get out, so there you go. That's probably better. You want to stay a couple blocks away, or you could bury your hay or something like that. So that'd be something to remember. Even pigs could just walk out, but a horse needs it to be a little bit away from there, especially. So you have your pond, you have your pen, a little bit of grass. You could add to that. You could change your fence line a little bit, whatever you'd like to do. All right. So now the other thing that I thought I would show you is how to do something with an entity. So we're going to go here and we're going to get a villager spawn egg, and I'm going to get a gate. Doesn't matter what kind, I just want a gate because I want him to stay in the door of whatever place we're going to do. This one's right here, and we'll go ahead and just do that. I think this is a fairly large structure, but it is okay. I don't think there is any structure in the villages that cannot be saved with a single, well, except for the pillager outpost. It takes more than one to make that. But yeah, most of them don't. Alright, so we need to know, we can see there, that shows me that the grass down there, which is the same right here, that's the corner, so we need to go out one corner from there, but we don't even want to go just there because look where the fence posts are. You need to be on the outside of that to be diagonal. So we're going to have to come out, let's see, that corner then is here, and then you have to come out here, right there. I don't think there's anything that's like on a hill or anything like that. This is just pretty level, so that should be just fine right here. The top of that structure shows, the structure block shows exactly where we'll need it to sit. Alright, so then we need to find out how to get over here to, we want to make sure we go up to that. We want to set it on top of that, but we need it to be out here. That's 3 there, out, and we also need it to be out one more because it needs to be on top and outside of, remember, the diagonal. Right, that should do it. We can take all of those out, and we can take this out, and we'll just start from here, and we're going to go to 3, and we'll name this one, what do we name it? We'll name this one, this is leather workers. Let's just say I'll just say leatherworker 01, something like that. Okay, let me write that down because I didn't do that before. Leather worker 01, because that has the cauldrons for the leather worker. So we'll put I need to copy that, otherwise I'll be typing that every time. Alright, and we're going to go back over and set this corner the same way, and 3 to the corner and paste and say done. And then we're going to go ahead, we need to get the guy in there first before we do anything else, which is okay. Oh, nice stuff. Okay, so we're going to put this guy in there, and you can watch him register. He should become a leather worker, just like, I don't want you to go out, I want you to stay in, please. Go, let's act like we're going to, oh no, that's not what I hit him twice. Guy, you want to come back in here, please? Let's get this out of our hand. I might have to make another one. Hello there. Well, we can put a baby in there if he'll come back. Hi, guy. You just wanted to be free, didn't you? I should have put the gate on there first. Let's do that and try that again. We can have up to 3 leather workers in here, so let's see. We can just put the gate right there, and we'll go in and we'll shut. We don't have to shut the door. Let's do it again. Get this right this time. That's why I put something on there. All right, now he should also. He won't register to this one out here. He did. He registered anyway. So I want to quickly. You need to get away from there. I'm going to shut the door in your face, and then I'm going to go out and shut the gate. All right, now we have an entity in there. All right, and that can be removed later on, obviously. So we're going to go ahead now and right-click and go to Save right here, and we have it Leatherworker 01, and we will leave that off, but we want the entities turned on, include entities, and then we will say Detect, and it shows us the frame all the way around. It's good. And we might end up with a couple more entities if the guys get over here, but it doesn't look like they will. That's okay. See, he's right there. He can't get out. Alright, so we'll go ahead and hit save, and it tells us, it confirms that it's been saved in the maps save place, not in the world. Not in the game saves, but in the map. This particular map's saves. All right, so then, that's already done. So I'll cancel that, and then we'll take out the blocks. Put a grass block back in here, and go catch this one out of here also. All right, and then what we want to do is find a place to put this. I'm not getting the right thing. There we go. Boy, there's a nice ravine over there. I wonder if there's any villager things down in there. You could put one down there. There are paths down there, but I don't think any structures are down there. Sometimes you will find them. Ooh, that's like a Y-shaped ravine there. And I think the ravine also goes over here. It does. Look at this. It probably goes all the way underneath the village there. Interesting. Yeah, more paths down there. Okay, so we need a big space in order to put that. You probably wouldn't want to make another leather worker place because you already can get 3 leather workers. But let's just try to put it here. Now, this is one thing that can be a problem, because I'm not sure if we're going to get it backwards or forwards. But if we get it located where it's going to be right, see, we want it to be here and then probably down. We'll just set it here, I think. If we get it backwards, you can make a road around to it, or you could erase it and put it. I'll show you how to do erasing too. But right now, we're going to go ahead and set it here. We'll go to load, and I'll have to paste this in. And then we do want to include the entities, right? Okay, so we'll say load. That is not where I want it. I think 180, and that should do it. Because I can see, let's check for sure. See, that looks like a good place. Now, actually, does that look like it is is it absolutely square? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, this is correct. It should be wider than it is deep. So let's try this and see if this goes in frontwards or backwards. And we got the little guy over there, hit him with it. I think that was the end of him probably. But I'm sorry about that. But yeah, we got the front over here, so that worked. And he's right on the street, so we'll take this out right now. And I'll show you, there should be a guy in here, right? This is just fine, and you would want to do things like, changing your roadway to match up with, whoops, is that what I meant? Like that. And you could change this over here, or whatever you'd want to do to make that fit in a little bit better with the rest of your land. Probably like something like this. And of course that thing is in the way there. Anyway, yeah, but maybe one more. Yeah, that can go like that. Whatever you want to do to make the road seem a little bit different than it might otherwise. So we can break this here, and we'll go in, and we should have in here a leather worker. And you can have 6 leather workers in there as your chest with everything in it. And the same over here. The guy that we put in here is still in there. There he is. And the same chest that was in the other one. So that's one way that you can do it. So that is the end of I wanted to show one other thing. Let's do, not in here in the village, but we're going to put in one more thing. I made a single eraser block. And you can do it any way you want. You could make several of different sizes. Let's say we want to take out all of this hay right here, okay? I made a 5x7 by 9 airspace. And we're going to put it here. This is how many? This is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's perfect. It won't matter about the rest of the size. We want to put this down right here, diagonally to these. And I want to load this airspace. That's all I want to do. I'm going to go to the load screen, and I'm going to type in 5x7x9 airspace right here. Okay. And then there's no entities and nothing like that. We want to hit the load button, and that's not where we want it. I believe that would be a 270. I think done. Yeah, there we go. And it's just air. It's just open space that we want to take that out, or anything else that you might have in there. So we're going to go ahead and load it, and voila. There you go. That's how you do that. And how I did that was by setting this here, down in, at the diagonal the same way, a place that is open to the air. If you don't want grass in it, and obviously I didn't leave any grass in it or anything like that, you can leave grass in it if you want. However you want to do it, but I always just leave air spaces. And you could make a small one, like I said, like a 3x3x3, to take out little bits of pieces, and then you could place them all over the place to do whatever you want. So you just save those like you would any other creation. It just saves the air blocks instead. And that's not an invisible block. That is just air. And you don't have to worry about, turning any of those things on. So there you go. That's how you do that. And I'll be back with the final episode, which will show you how to take all of these. I won't show you all of them, but I'm going to show you a few of them, and then I'll show you where to find the codes for them, so that you can, anything that you have seen or even haven't seen yet that is in the new village format, you'll be able to find it out of the game files that you already have for the version in which we're playing, and you'll be able to place it anywhere you want to create your very own village any way you want it. I'll see you then. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.